All right. Robbo, we'll just start with the team news. We haven't seen the squad yet. How's it looking?
For the first time ever, similar to last week. Obviously we've been able to come out of the game a little bit unscared. Obviously some bumps and bruises, but yeah, nice feeling knowing that the lads that took the field last week, are available this week.
And you're obviously on a bit of a roll at the moment, so that continuity certainly helps, doesn't it?
Oh, like I've said all year, that continuity definitely helps. Having a little bit of consistency when you're on the training field and consistency on the game obviously aids to performance. And we had a little bit of a break between the whole game, but just having that little bit of a consistent side to pick from's, been really nice. Obviously, it wasn't great losing Tui and Swifty, but I thought, last week, Kez did a pretty good job stepping in.
I know you said once players started getting back, you've been judged on that, and I think you've won 4 out of 7, haven't you? So is that more of a measure of this squad rather than what we saw in the first half of the year results-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if everyone believed me when I kept saying that, but I kept saying, look, I think we'll have a better second half of the year than we will the first half, and it's probably no coincidence that we had a bit more of a settled squad. Like, let's not beat around the bush. I've still got Niall, Clooney and Tui out, and if you took away Jai Field, Bevan French, Harry Smith, or anybody else for that matter, Saints' team, you take Johnny Lomax, you take Wellesby, you take you take your spine away. It obviously makes it a lot more difficult, but I thought the lads that have stepped up, I've had an opportunity to keep training together, and like I say, we've built a little bit of continuity over these last 7 games.
I think you're chasing 3 straight wins for the first time since the early stages of last year. How much of a challenge will that be this week at St Helens?
Yeah, it's a massive challenge, isn't it? It sort of gets a lot of grief as well, really, from a lot of outside noise. But when you look at them, I think they're playing really good rugby. I think they're in the top. They're in the top 4 defence in the league. They're in the top 4 attack for the league. They're still a formidable outfit who's still putting really good performances together, as you've seen over the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, look, when you've got, Matty Lees, Morgan Knowles, Walmsley, in the middle along with Delaney, they've got a really good solid pack. They've still got a lot of experience in their outside backs. In Lomax, who's probably going to go down as one of the best players Saints have ever had. So they're still a stacked side who are playing well. I think, and yeah, it's shown really. Like saying, when you look at the defensive stats, the attacking stats, I think they're going really good.
I think Darryl Powell said last week that they're the most physical side in Super League. Is that how you see it?
Potentially, yes. It's something we've spoke about. The 4 forwards that I mentioned previous, definitely, let's not beat around the bush. That's probably why they're all in the England squad and have been there for so many years, that they bring it physically, and you've got to be on your game to actually to not only match them but get over the top of them. So it's something we've been speaking about and practicing this week. Not only matching that physical battle, but actually try to win it. And, even their outside backs run with some vigour, and they get themselves over on the front foot on the advantage line, and defensively they've got. It's probably been part of St Helens' DNA for a very long time. With Albrook, with Wolf, and now with Wello, that they're still very, very physical when it comes to line speed and carrying the ball.
At the same time, do you go there confident based on recent results and performances?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, look, we know that it's a very tough proposition. The qualities that I spoke about before, but we're feeling good about ourselves. We're feeling like we've like you said before, 4 out of 7. We're in a lot better spot than where we have been, and we've put some good back-to-back training sessions together as well as on the field. So yeah, look, we're confident, and we're excited about the proposition.
And I know it's not what you set out to do at the start of the season, but that 9th spot now is it within reach, isn't it? So is that the next stage for you now? Shoot up that table and then fly home?
Very much so. Look, we want to obviously finish the season on a high rather than a low. And what better opportunity you've got than going to St Helens, who are flying high, who are a really good side, and actually going over and turn them over on on their patch. It'll set us up for the remainder of the year. So we want to continue our form, and we just want to finish as high as we can, give the fans something to cheer about.
And just on something you mentioned earlier about Paul Wellens and the stick he's got there. When you're a British coach, it seems like it doesn't matter what you achieve for the club as a player, you do get more stick regardless. Is that the way you see it?
I'm not sure.
It's a bit of an unforgiving business, isn't it?
It is. Look, and it's part and parcel of coaching. Sometimes I'm a little bit bewildered to why that actually happens. Like I say, I think he's done a really good job there. I think obviously they've come off obviously a lot of very, very successful years, haven't they? They've had a lot of successful years. So the pressure at Saints always been very high. They expect to win every single year. They expect to win, and look, they've got really, really good players. But yeah, look, I think he's been a champion player, and he seems to be getting the best out of it at the moment, and they're in a fair bit of good form to finish the year.
And I know the pressure's never off as a coach, but do you feel like you can build now? You've got these results, and you've shown some progress. Looking forward to next year.
Oh yeah, that's what it's been about. I said it all along that we've had so many disruptions regarding the field, regarding the injury list, and other things. There's been a lot of things that have probably played against us this year, but hopefully we're going to be stronger for it in the long run. Hopefully the young kids that have had a run, the experiences that the team have gone through, it just makes them stronger as individuals and stronger as a group. And yeah, it's not ideal, but hopefully the little bit of momentum we've gained over the last sort of 7 weeks, we can hopefully try and continue for the rest of the year, and hopefully that's a bit of a stepping stone in the future.
No, good stuff. Thank you very much. I'll let Steve ask you for you now. All the best for the weekend. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Robert, in the squad that Saints have just put out, a certain Jack Wellsby is in there. How have you prepared for him this week, not knowing if he'd play or not, and obviously probably not knowing exactly what role he'll have? He has a big influence wherever he plays for them, doesn't he?
Yeah, look, he's a fabulous player, isn't he? He's what I love about him more than anything else is just the way that he competes. He competes for everything, and I think it's a really good quality to have, and it brings not only the best out of yourself, but the best out of your teammates as well. So when he's in the squad, obviously it's a little bit more daunting. Obviously, we spoke about it. There's an opportunity where he could play. He could play in the left half because Sailor's been playing exceptional. He's been playing really, really well at fullback, causing teams all sorts of problems. So they could decide to put him in the half. They could decide to put him at fullback and move Tristan back to half. Could put Tristan on the wing, and so they've got lots of different options of St Helens, and it's something we spoke about and addressed slightly. Obviously, you've got to do, but sometimes you can get a little bit too enthralled in what's going to be coming up against you, and you don't actually practice on what you need to do. So it's been mentioned, and we've spoke about it, but yeah, I'm not sure what Saints going to do myself, so I'll have to wait and see when the team sheet comes out.
Yeah, we will. Just on your side, I forgot to ask you after the game last week, and Tom Burgess was 18th man. What was the reason behind that?
Oh no, just about. I just thought the pack that played really well before. I thought they played really well. I thought Ollie Wilson coming back into the side, regarding his form before he got injured, I think he deserved to be put back in. It was just nothing more, which is a selection decision.
Yeah, a challenge you expect him to be up for to get back into that team now. Like you've got plenty of options. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, look. Well, he's a big part of us. He's Burge. He's old professional. He's been around the game long enough. He's really good for our sort of for the culture, for the young lads. And we don't expect him to change and be any different. We said all along right at the very beginning of the year, this is not about the team, it's about the squad, and the squad's the one that plays a big part, which let's be honest, we've probably used a bigger squad than we even anticipated at the beginning of the year. We've had multiple players probably play that probably didn't expect to play this year, so we've shown that we're a squad first team, squad first club.